All right. So last year I took up bird watching and bird photography, and I set up this whole bird feeder system here. And I had great success. But this year I'm on paternity leave again, and I'm going to try and up my game a little bit. So first of all, I don't love how cluttered this thing looks. The birds didn't really use the bird bath at all. Um, So I'm going to get rid of this and decrease the clutter. Um, it just looks too busy and it's not very efficient. The birds overwhelmingly prefer this tray feeder over the others. So I think I'm going to move some of this stuff. Now the hummingbird feeder I'll keep here because we have had hummingbirds, and obviously they don't eat seeds, so it's okay to have these two. And this adds a little splash of color, though we didn't really get any Orioles. Um, so as a fruit holder, it didn't really work. Um, Now the suet feeder, we didn't have very much success, I guess, with the suet. I mean, birds ate the suet, but I never really saw them eat it, so it was kind of weird. Eventually, I ended up filling up with peanuts, and clearly they were eating that too. Though again, didn't really get any. I didn't really get to see it, so I don't know. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the backyard, and I'm also going to clean the windows again, so that we can get better pictures. And then I'm going to remove the screens. Now, one of the things I wasn't super happy about last year was that this thing was pretty close to the window, and that meant that birds would get spooked when I go to take a picture. When there's movement there, they can see me for some reason. The other reason that this was suboptimal was because the sun is actually coming from that side of the house, and so there would be many times during the day where the house casts a shadow on this thing. So I'm going to see if I can maybe move this guy a bit further out onto the front yard. Now the downside to this is, of course, when it comes time to actually cut the grass, I'm going to have to move this thing off the grass, but seeing as I don't cut the grass that often, I think that's probably the better thing to do. So I'm going to move this out a little bit further, maybe to about there. I only just got seed for this yesterday, and already there's been a lot of activity. You just saw a starling here grab a peanut. I politely waited for it to grab its peanut before coming over here to kind of fix things up here. Yeah, so we'll keep it like this, a little bit farther from the house. Now apparently we've already been visited by some hummingbirds. My wife saw them. I didn't see them, but I'm gonna have to fill that up too. Alright, I'm currently in my backyard, and so I'm hoping to set up like a bird feeder somewhere in this area so I can get pictures from that window up there. And the key is to set up nice looking bare branch perches for the birds. So I've put a stick here, and I've seen some wrens perch on that guy naturally. So I'm probably going to just leave it as is. So that way you get a bird sort of isolated on the tree there, not obscured by leaves and stuff. And then we'll put the feeder a little bit farther away, maybe on that guy, just so that the birds have some reason to hang around this area. And one of the biggest things, of course, is to consider how we're going to keep the squirrels from just wrecking this feeder, because it's not that we don't like squirrels, we love squirrels. But the problem is they will absolutely tear a feeder to shreds. They will just eat everything on it. So the question is, how do we keep this for the birds? I'm hoping that by hanging this on a precarious branch like this, that it'll discourage the squirrels. But I don't know how well it's going to work, but we'll try. See if I can pour some feed onto that feeder there. Alright, so there it is. We got some feed in that feeder now. So hopefully we'll get some activity back here. And you know, birds will obviously congregate around the feed, but you know, that doesn't make for a very nice picture. So hopefully they will sit atop these branches that I've got set up here while they wait their turn to get to the feeder, and then I can get some pictures of them there. Alright, so this is the hummingbird feeder. Just pour a little bit of sugar and pour some water in there. Get it stirred up, and then hopefully we'll get some hummingbirds. Alright, so there it is. You can't actually see the feeder, but if you come over to the side, you can catch a glimpse of it there, which is perfect. And we'll see if we get any activity here. I also just cleaned these windows using this guy, using the technique I've shown in the previous video. So yeah, we'll see.